What is up, everybody? It's Copes here, and today I'm back with a Fortnite video. We have the best back bling bracket. Say that 1,000 times fast, record yourself doing it, and then throw it in the trash. Drop a like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications as well. If you guys have any other bracket ideas or just video ideas in general, you can leave them in the comment section because, you know, I like making your video ideas. But let's get into this bracket, guys. So starting off in the top left, we have Astro versus Backup Plan. For me, Astro is just a little bit too plain. I don't really like many of the Season 3 back bling, and this is a prime example of why I dislike them so much. Look at the Astro backpack. At first, it was a really cool design, I thought, but the more and more back bling that come out, it just gets piled underneath the great ones. This one does not work out for me. I like the Backup Plan a little bit too much. That one's moving on, and honestly, the Backup Plan may go far in this list. We'll have to wait and see. The Black Shield versus the Bright Bag. This is honestly a tough one. I think the Black Shield and the Red Shield are very good back bling, but for me, I think the Bright Bag is just a fan favorite, and I like it just as much as most people. It goes so well with the Bright Bomber, I think I have to have it move on. And this is one of the only back bling that only goes well with a few different skins, but it's definitely going to move on far in this list. Against the Backup Plan, who knows if it's going to lose. We have the Catalyst versus the Buckler, and the Buckler, if you guys didn't know, it looks super tiny on everyone's back. It's like one of the smallest, if not the smallest back bling in this game. Honestly, go try it out if you haven't yet. I would not suggest buying the Highland Warrior. For me, I just personally don't like that skin that much, but for the back bling, I think it's nice enough to beat out the Catalyst and win this round. Now we have the Cuddle Bow, I was about to say the Cuddle Team Leader, and the Pathogen. Either this is Pathogen or Contagion. I'm pretty sure this one's Pathogen, but regardless, guys, I'm gonna just be honest. I'm gonna be upfront with you. I don't think Pathogen or Contagion are going to make it to the next round. I personally don't think these back bling are anything too special. The Cuddle Bow is very simple, but I do like the design, and it's moving on to the next round. Honestly, the Cuddle Bow is very underrated. I feel like the Cuddle Bow goes very well with a lot of different skins. Go try it out. It goes well with almost every single skin, I would say. Now we have the Dark Void versus the Dark Matter back bling, and for me, I have to give it to the Dark Void. I don't think there's really any explanation I need to give. I just think that like circular thing in the middle that changes colors, the pinkish purplish colors, you know what I'm talking about, in the middle, in the center, I think that looks a lot better than the Dark Matter back bling, in my opinion. Now we have the fish tank versus the eggshell back bling, and for me, the eggshell back bling's alright, but the fish tank's just a little bit better. I honestly don't even think the fish tank is all that good. I do like the Easter egg back blings, but I think the fish tank is easily going to win this one out for this round. Maybe if it was going against any of the ones above, the eggshell was going against any of these ones above, it could have won, especially against the Dark Void. I think it would have won, but not during this round. Now we have the Raven versus Contagion, and for me, the Raven back bling is one of my favorites. I have to have it move on to the next round. Now we have Precision versus the Raptor Satchel, and honestly for me, I don't like the Raptor that much. I would say he's probably the second worst legendary in this game if I had to, but against the Precision back bling, the Raptor Satchel is just a little bit better. I really like the shovel on the Raptor Satchel, so I'm gonna have it move on. The Precision back bling is just a little bit too simple, and sometimes the simple things work, but really the Precision, it wouldn't move on far in this list going against any of these back blings, just because it's simple, but it doesn't look that good in my opinion. Now we're moving on to the right side. We have the Love Wings versus the Red Shield, and this is another tough one, guys. I think the Red Shield is a great back bling, but honestly, the Love Wings are just too iconic not to have them move on. We're having them move on to the next round. Now we have the Royal Flags versus the Royal Shield, and the Royal Flags are easily more creative and way better looking in my opinion. I think they don't go well with a ton of different skins, but that's what makes it look so great in my opinion. Now we have the Rex or the Scaly versus the Rust Bucket, and for me, the Rex is my least favorite legendary skin in this game. The Rust Bucket, easily moving on to the next round. Now we have Special Delivery versus my favorite skiing backbling, and I put only one skiing backbling on this list because, like, honestly, putting 7 or 8 different skiing backblings on this list would just be horrible. I don't even know how I'd be able to rank that because they all look the same. But for me, I like the UK skiing backbling the most, and I'm having that move on to the next round. The Special Delivery looks alright on some skins. I just really don't think it beats out the UK or my favorite skiing backbling. Now we have the Standard Issue backbling versus the Hatchling. And if you guys didn't know, the Hatchling is one of my favorites, and I have to have it move on to the next round. Now we have 6-string versus Tag Bag, and for me, Tag Bag is just that ugly ass backbling that I think would have been beaten out by a lot of different backbling on this list. I don't think it goes well with almost any skin. Honestly, I don't even think it goes well with like Technique or the Abstract skin, which I like Technique, but Abstract I definitely don't like that much. I'm gonna have 6-string move on to the next round, and that is going to be facing Hatchling, which may be the toughest competition on this list so far. Now we have True North versus the Steel Cast. Honestly, the Steel Cast, I think it looks good on certain skins, only a select few. I can't really name which skins it looks good on. I guess I can name one. I think it looks good on like the Recon Specialist or any skin that is kind of grayish, maybe white, possibly white. It doesn't necessarily work on all white skins, but on certain skins I think it looks good. But True North is just that backbling that I think looks good on any sort of army type character, so I'm having that one move on to the next round. Now we have the Hard Boiled backbling versus the Goodie Bag, and for me, I think the Goodie Bag's just a little bit too sweet. I do like the Hard Boiled more than the Eggshell just because it has hearts on it, and I do like the color design a little bit more as well. So I'm having the Hard Boiled backbling move on against the Goodie Bag just because I think the Goodie Bag isn't that great of a backbling. It looks a little bit weird. It doesn't really fit into Fortnite too well, I don't think. Now we're moving on to the left side. We have the Backup Plan versus the Bright Bag, and this was a tough one because I think the Backup Plan is one of the best just regular looking backbling, if that makes sense. I think it's one of the best. I think it's better than Dark Void. I think it's better than the Fish Tank, the Raptor Satchel. I think it beats all those out. But for me, the Bright Bag's just a little bit too awesome and too creative not to have move on. It's way too colorful as well. I love this design. It's so simple, but so colorful, and it looks great on the Bright Bomber. That's moving on to the next round. Now we have the Buckler versus the Cuddle Bow. And I think the Buckler definitely works out because it's super small, but the Cuddle Bow also works out because it's super tiny. So for me, I personally like the more creative and colorful shield design, which is obviously the Buckler. It's moving on to face the Bright Bag in the next round. Now we have the Dark Void backbling versus the Fish Tank. And this one wasn't very tough for me. I personally don't like the Astro, I don't like the Dark Void, and I don't like the Dark Matter backbling. For me, the Fish Tank, it isn't all that good, but it still beats out the Dark Void easily. It's moving on to the next round. Now we have the Raven backbling versus the Raptor Satchel. This one isn't tough for me at all, guys. I love the Raven backbling. It is moving on easily to the next round. Now we're moving on to the right side. We have the Love Wings versus the Royal Flags. And I think this is one of the toughest decisions yet. I hate the idea. That was actually a voice crack that time. I feel like I'm a little bit sick. But I hate the idea of the Royal Flags being knocked off so early. And I hated the idea of the Red Shield as well being knocked off so early. But I think the Royal Flags have to be gone. They're such a creative and cool design. I really do like them on a lot of different skins because it doesn't fit well, but the Love Wings are just too iconic not to have move on to the next round. Now we have the Rust Bucket versus the UK Skiing Backlink. For me, I think the UK Skiing Backlink goes great with certain blue skins, and it looks very odd and honestly disgusting on skins it doesn't match up well with, which I don't think that is the case for many backbling. Like the Royal Flags, I think they stand out a lot, and some people may perceive them as ugly, or the Buckler on certain skins that it doesn't match up well with. But for me, I like those two. I don't like the UK Skiing Backlink with anything it doesn't match up well with. The Rust Bucket goes super well with any red skin, and I have to have it move on, facing the Love Wings in the next round. Now we have the Hatchling versus 6-string, and for me, the Hatchling is one of the cutest and coolest designs in this game. I really have to say it's one of my favorites at this point in the game. The 6-string is absolutely amazing. I think it goes well with any pink skin or any white skin in this game. But the Hatchling is just a little bit too creative compared to all these other ones. I think it's the only dinosaur themed design. It's the only animal themed design. I know dinosaurs aren't animals, or are they? I don't know if dinosaurs are animals. Comment down below telling me, but it's I'm gonna, for a lack of a better term, if dinosaurs aren't animals, I'm gonna have to say this is the only animal based design. The Scaly, it's sort of based on an animal, I'll say that, but it's not an animal. So I'm gonna have to give it to the Hatchling on this one. I like it a little bit too much. Now we have the True North versus the hard-boiled eggshell backbling. I honestly think the True North goes way too well with any military-based designs. I have to have it move on. It's a lot simpler than the hard-boiled backbling, but for me, sometimes the simple ones work, and this one definitely is that case. Now we have the Bright Bag versus the Buckler. And honestly, the Buckler, it made it far enough. The Bright Bag is moving on. I don't think that really needs any explanation. The Fish Tank versus the Iron Cage. Honestly, the Fish Tank, again, it's one of those that moved on a little bit too far. The Iron Cage is moving on to face the Bright Bag. Now we have the Love Wings versus the Rust Bucket. Again, the Rust Bucket made it a little bit too far. The Love Wings are moving on. Now we have the Hatchling versus the True North. Again, I think the True North made it a little bit too far. The Hatchling is moving on. The Bright Bag, Love Wings, the Iron Cage, and the Hatchling are my top 4 favorites. If you guys have ever heard me talk about Backbling, these are my 4 favorites. But honestly, I think if the Red Shield moved on, I think it should have moved on into the final 8. I think the 6-string should have moved on into the final 8. It just couldn't because it faced the final 4. If that makes any sense to you guys. If it doesn't, well, I'm sorry. But any other ones that should have made it a little bit further, maybe the backup plan, I think, could have made it into the final 8. And yeah, I think that's about it. I think we have a pretty good list so far. But the Bright Bag versus the Iron Cage. So these are two very different looking backbling. One's super bright, one's super colorful. The other one's just very simple. It's like a rib cage on a backbling with feathers sticking out. Honestly, for me, I have to give it to the Iron Cage on this one. The Bright Bag is really great. I think it goes well with certain skins, but the Iron Cage goes well with any of your edgier, darker picks that you want to pick for skins. And I love its design so much. Now we have the Love Wings versus the Hatchling. And for me, the Love Wings are iconic. Don't get me wrong. They're great. I think they go well with almost every skin. But maybe I've used them a little bit too much. I don't know, because I've been starting to get a little bit tired of them and sick of them. I see them in everyone's gameplay. So for me, I have to give it to the Hatchling. The Hatchling is going to face the Iron Cage in this one. We're going to see who wins. So the Iron Cage versus the Hatchling. What are the positives of the Iron Cage? I think, for me, I personally like the darker skins, like literally black, gray, even a white skin goes very well with the Iron Cage, in my opinion. Like the edgier pick, I'll have to say. But the Hatchling goes well with any red skin, and I love how good and how much the red skins stand out in this game. Honestly though, overall, in my opinion, I have to give it to the Iron Cage. That is my all-time favorite at this point. The Iron Cage is the best backbling in this game at this point, in my opinion. So for me, I'll give you my top 5. So Iron Cage number 1, Hatchling number 2, Bright Bag number 3, Love Wings number 4, and then I would say the Buckler's number 5. If you guys like that list, tell me in the comment section, tell me what you think. Give me your top 5, drop a like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.